An extra layer of dead.
Yeah.
Hearthstone is pulling out. Majorly.
This is exactly when I said about Blizzard just leaving their lunch out. They've done the exact same thing here. And thankfully TJ did a lot of research into this. So this is actually an interesting one. Way deeper than I thought it went, to be honest. It's crazy.
Yeah. Well, put it this way. 8 people would be paid for playing Hearthstone competitively.
This year.
8.
Yep.
That's the totality of the official esports. 8 people get money.
Mm-hmm. And all the grassroots was shot in the head by Blizzard. So
great.
Yep.
Great. It's like you kill all the grassroots, take it over, have wildly inflated expectations for it, cut it to pieces, and then enjoy the fact that you killed the grassroots, showing people that it's a silly idea to invest.
American capitalism.
Big success. Okay, so it's the 10th anniversary of Hearthstone. So let's celebrate with an amazing year of competitive. Woo! Right, evaluating the state of our competitive program. We've been evaluating the state of our competitive program and the best format to take it moving forward. We began setting up the Hearthstone esports for sustainability. That's it. It's now a green esport. Well, no, it's definitely not a green esport because there's less dollars involved. As it turns a decade old, balancing the realities of an ever-changing production landscape, sizing the program according to its audience. You never want to hear that. Nope. Even though it's smaller, it's poised to bring another year of exciting competitive Hearthstone. Now, I saw Frodan's quote tweet of this being like, "Hat lol dead."
Yep.
No, I mean, you use a few more words than that.
They're just not allowed to say that.
So, the 2023 tournaments. There'll be 7, including 3 Masters Tour seasonal championships.
I expected that to scroll down further, Jesus Christ.
A Masters World Championship, and then 3 Battlegrounds Lobby Legends tournaments. So, Masters, right, which is the Hearthstone standard tournament, right? So actually playing games of Hearthstone, like not the auto battler mode. Mm-hmm. All 3 of the Masters Tour events have 0 prize pool.
0. No money.
0 money.
Why would you do it? For the clout? Oh yeah, clout. I love exposure.
No, Matt. They offer qualification into the 8-player World Championship with a $500,000 prize pool.
Well, you know what pays my bills? Whenever I go to my landlord and say, this is the certification that I will earn money at some point later if I play well. That always goes down with a treat.
So, there's also only 16 players in each of these events picked from the top players in the ladder, right? So we have 3 Masters Tour events of 16 people each, which then offer qualification into the 8-player World Championship. And to put this in perspective, now I did not see this coming. Last year, there were 6 Masters Tour events, but each had approximately 400 competitors and a prize pool of 250 grand. So the Masters Tour stuff, not just the World Championship, but the 6 Masters Tour tournaments had, $1.5 million. This time, there's 3 of them, they have nothing, and the final's $500,000. So, ouch.
Class.
Then we've got Lobby Legends, so there will be 3 Lobby Legends. Down from 7. Each of these will have a 50 grand prize pool, but there's 4 fewer of them, so that's a decrease of 200 grand. Now, here's what was really rough. You know the way, like, the FAQ is supposed to be for people who are curious and interested but just want some more details?
Yeah.
So the FAQ has such incredible things, and this, like, they must know. I mean, yeah, it says, does this mean Hearthstone's declining or failing? Does this mean it's cancelled in 2024?
The
where
probably.
They say, we don't have anything to share at this time, so that's a strong statement of intent.
We'll find out.
Is this because of lower viewership from being exclusive to YouTube? Our goal is to balance the cost of running the... Yes.
You know what? Fair to whoever wrote this FAQ. This is good.
How come the Masters events don't have a prize pool? We want to prioritize rewarding the most consistent players over the whole year.
I know what it is.
Lol.
I know exactly who wrote this. And these are the people who are sitting at their desks crying because their job's about to go because they're the ones who were pushing for this and the upper management said, this is costing too much money, cancel it now because we have to get rid of you in your team. that's what it's written by, because you can tell, like, the way these are written, these are people going, I'm telling you the truth in the way that won't get me fired.
Dude, I might do a quickie for the news channel over the weekend, because I feel like this should be talked about.
It's abhorrent.
I mean, so here we have Lothar, Hearthstone, saying, Blizzard killing your hardcore communities, StarCraft tick, Warcraft tick, Hearthstone tick, HOTS tick, Overwatch tick. I mean, true in all of those, maybe right, because World of Warcraft, while it could have been massive if they treated it properly way back in the day, but maybe because it's community grassroots supported by advertisers in the case of raids, and then it's like the MDI and stuff, which is all appropriately budgeted, because they'll just maybe get like Nagura, Dratnos, like,
and I assume,
kind of like
I assume they
Krista, like the usual suspects, you know, the people who like do all the WoW gigs.
I'm going to assume they do it for, I have no idea how much they get paid, but I'm assuming it's not very much. I'm assuming a lot of that is the like kickbacks you can get to their own communities and stuff from that. I imagine this is pure speculation on my end.
Within World of Warcraft, it all feels very community-like, to the point where, you know, and it's what I like about the Warcraft stuff, because it's not like they say, okay, WoWcasters, you need to put on your best suit and be like, hello, welcome, as the you know, like it's some big crazy professional thing. No, it actually feels casual and personable and like, I guess, endearing. Because that's the thing, like, I'd always ignored that stuff and I tuned into the broadcast, and it was surprisingly low key, which I really appreciated, with good, like a good spectator thing as well.
It's not OWL.
It's not OWL, basically. Now, with StarCraft, I mean, obviously they've sunset that game. Sad. It's like not the Blizzard game I would play the most, but it's probably my single favorite Blizzard game, even over World of Warcraft. But that's like different from Want to Play, which is bizarre.
Yeah, I mean,
because there's some games you can only play so much of. Like my heart will explode if I. It's like you know, you could mainline 800 milligrams of caffeine or just ladder once. Yeah. And that's what StarCraft feels like.
That's what fighting game net plays like. Pre-workout, do some net play. Off you go.
So what's up with the StarCraft WCS? I suppose it's dead.
I have no idea, but
I haven't even checked.
I assume that's like life support by grassroots people running whatever the hell they feel like. Maybe a little bit of a scene left in Korea where that's likely not anything to do with like that's likely Blizzard in Korea sorting their own stuff out and raising their money and stuff like that, paying out of pocket instead of it being Activision Blizzard, the organization, putting the funds down. So that's exactly what I meant. Was it leaving them just going? They've just killed all of their games, which means, and you look at obviously what I called hasn't got a replacement just yet. The RTS scene hasn't got a replacement just yet. And World of Warcraft.
Stormgate. Come on! I really want to start. Yeah. They're cool. They have a cool game. Yeah. I really hope it's good.
World of Warcraft doesn't have a replacement in the terms of that because it's actually fairly unique, relatively speaking. But the other one's just like, shooter? No. Everyone watches Riot's game. MOBA? Everyone watches Riot's game. Or people watch Apex as well. Yeah. Even comparing it to, because to take it outside of Blizzard for a second, like the Call of Duty, there was was it Nick Merckx? I can never remember what he is, but he's one of the popular shooty man people, video game shooty man people. He tweeted, I think it was today or recently, there was a tweet going around of like him quoting like, Apex is way better to compete in than Warzone. Apex just does everything right. There's something about the game that works, whereas Warzone has a load of problems. And going Activision Blizzard just going, let's just do everything we can feasibly wrong because we're
I wish I could do a Kate Blanchett voice and be all like, you know, forgone to Valorant, the e-girls went.
Yeah.
All the Zoomers are off playing Valorant and Overwatch just got all crusty and old. Even though, I've got to say, I can log into Overwatch 2, I can play Baptiste, and I can just think, with Halo Infinite being a state, you know, sitting here with my 3-shot rifle and healing things is the closest I can get. So it's rough. Now, to go to some perspectives then. So from the constructed perspective, that's basically, you know, your standard missionary for the sake of procreation competitively, you know, very just is what it is. Hearthstone. Yeah, no silly bing bing wahoo auto battlers, just a card game.
It's good old-fashioned.
Good old-fashioned card game. From 6 250k Master Tours to 3 with 16 players with no prize pool just to qualify for an 8-player championship. All qualification pure based on top 16 finishes. Way too top-heavy. Sad day for competitive Hearthstone. Pretty sad state of affairs for competitive Hearthstone. Just not good. Yeah. Not good.
Cancelled. Hell. Yeah.
Battlegrounds could have been a better esport than TFT, but Blizzard doesn't have Riot's budget or esports vision.
I will tell you this.
Oh, they have the budget. They just don't have the vision to.
Yeah, they don't have the budget. They have the actual money. But the problem is the difference is having the money versus the budget. Because Activision Blizzard are a stingy pack of bastards. There's no two ways of putting it. You look at any of their esports over time, you know they are just struggling. Like the shit they got into over the toys for the arena stuff and WoW and the charity payout, and how that just came across an awful lot like, why are you trying to scam us to save your own money? You're a $1 billion company. How can you not support some initiatives? How can you not invest in these communities? And that's what they're doing wrong. And that's why I think the comment there about it being top heavy, that is the sign of an esports scene that is dying. Yes. That is what everyone knows. Anyone can just look across at the entire history of sports itself, but also look at any part of history of the FGC. And you go, which games live? It's the games that people are going, I like this game. I'm going to run a tournament. I'm going to crowdfund. I'm going to hop on Matcherino. I'm going to do stuff. A prime example
all you have to do as the game company is not fuck it up. So don't be like Nintendo.
Yeah, you offer the tools, right? You offer the tools. You offer money where possible. You offer a license like Capcom. They got into a load of shit for their license seeming to crush smaller like tournaments and stuff, and then they backtrack like crazy. And it wasn't like we tried to crush you and failed. It was more we actually literally didn't realize the realities of this. We're actually genuinely sorry. We're going to fix that. And then they went ahead and did it. But I think one example I have is, Falziger. League has never made profit in the World Championship. They read it as a loss because the publicity for the game is ridiculous. That's what Activision are not willing to do because they're profiteering morons. They don't care about the long-term future of their games. They care about the money they can make. And that's where Riot's vision is, we will have this aspiration. Same with Valorant. You watch Valorant, like same with CSGO, same with Dota. You watch those, you go, oh, that looks fun. I want to be a part of that. Even if it's not, I want to be a part of that and play sweaty and try to become an esports master. It is, I really like this guy and he's playing that character. I'll go buy merch of that character. In the case of Riot, selling loads of League merch. That's the stuff you want to do. You want to foster communities. And a perfect example of this I have is the recent rollback netcode stuff happening across the FGC. There was Pat the Flip, I can't remember his full name. He's a writes Patreon essays about fighting games, and I think he's a game designer who he's either working or worked with Riot on their fighting game, which goes to show Riot's vision is on point. They have the Cannon brothers in there, they have the fighting game experts because they know how to build esports. And he's been an advocate for Guilty Gear Xrd Rev 2 since that game came out, and since that game died, and since that game was replaced by Strive. And literally, I think it was CEO Combricker. I think it might have been CEO. I can't remember exactly. But one of them announced, hey, we're putting Rev 2 as a main tournament this time because there's a lot of you playing it and you love it. And it is rollback netcode, so the scene's a bit bigger. And then there's just this version of people sitting there going, okay, sweet. But then they literally, the person who runs that tournament actually tweeted at Pat saying, hey, I know you're going to like this. There's a 48-hour opening for registration. And that's a case of grassroots making it, where people go, here's the natural interest, here's it growing. It's grassroots, it's a seed. And that's nourishment. Activision Blizzard are not nourishers. They harvest. That's all they do. That's all they're capable of doing. They go, very nice thing you've made there, game developers. That's fucking ours now.
Yo,
that's all they do.
I did not know about this news.
Yeah.
Friggin' Shopify is sponsoring StarCraft 2.
Fantastic.
Toby Lucky. Thanks, man.
Yeah.
Also hired Select because Select tweeted that he was looking for a software engineering internship. Toby's like, you're fucking great at StarCraft. Come on over.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's as I was more or less saying, it is literally just, it's grassroots. That's what you need to do. That's all you can do. You need to grow and nourish instead of harvest. That's what Activision Blizzard cannot do with any of their esports. It's a miracle. They can't seem to do it with any of their games, actually. And that's where they're going to lose the long term. To hell with Activision Blizzard. Yes.
Rodan, You do not want one of your more known casters saying, Hearthstone esports finally returned to Twitch, but is now in maintenance mode. This is beyond disappointing. Because this is now the narrative.
Yeah.
That is the narrative. Blizzard needs to understand narrative and their short-term profiteering that they're, that it's going to kill you in the narrative.
Short-sighted. It's literally short-sighted. That's what we have this whole discussion about.
So... Raven.
I guessed it wasn't going to be a great announcement, hence my focus on Snap. Look at that. You've just lost people who are advocates for your game. You've lost players. You've lost potential players.
You've
lost the future of Hearthstone to the person who you hired to make your game, and then you stopped giving them the freedom to do what they wanted, so they went and made a different game using the lessons they learned. You lost talent. You lost players. You lost more talent across casters. You lost everyone because you're dumbasses.
Fucking clown show.
It's a complete and utter clown show. And that's the only way to describe it. It is full on don't trust nobody, not even yourself, because they keep shooting themselves. And it's frustrating to see because...
As Hearthstone's been nickel and diming people too. That's the other thing. This is getting worse. And also they've been nickel and diming harder and harder and harder and harder. Yeah. Even with, remember, the basically pay for a higher win rate with Battlegrounds with the Tavern Pass or whatever it was. That was a while ago, so I can't remember all the details.
It's frustrating because the developers are trying their goddamn hardest. And we see that with World of Warcraft. That's why I'm happy it seems to be allowed freedom to do what it wants.
Just to get it. This is from Mally. Blizzard just put a knife in. Total prize pool went from 3 million to 650K. It's look, I know the numbers need to make sense, but
it's an investment.
How do you do that without making it look like you're putting your game into managed decline?
Because the people who make business decisions at Activision Blizzard have not the faintest idea what PR is for any of their decisions. They don't care. They just go, number makes sense. Number makes sense. They don't go, what does this look like in 5 years? What does the outcry look like? And you'd think of all companies in the goddamn video game world, they would understand that after the past couple of years, but they clearly don't.